Hi there, Vic the ENT surgeon. Today I want to tell you about cervical collars, these sorts of things that go around your neck, a bit like this, and help people sometimes with obstructive sleep apnea and snoring. Now, the reason why I think these collars help is because twofold, really. One is that they help you extend your neck forward a little bit. That's quite useful. If anyone knows anything about the recovery position, this is a position that doctors put patients in, particularly when they're found on the street or on the floor of a hospital floor. If they've lost consciousness and you're trying to maintain an airway, stop their breathing from obstructing, you put them on the floor, almost on their front, sort of in a three-quarter position, so that they're sort of like this, on the with the floor like that, with the floor like this. So their tongue can roll forward, but more importantly, you extend the neck slightly, and by doing that, you open up the airway, and that helps. Rather than trying to breathe around a corner like this, it's if you do it yourself, it feels like actually it feels slightly obstructed. But if you go like this, it feels a little bit easier to breathe. So by putting these collars on, and I'll show you with this one, you sort of have this. You can't physically put your sort of chin down onto your chest, and a lot of people do that. Let me take this off. Well, a lot of people do that, particularly when they're sleeping on their side and they're in that sort of fetal position. Um, so it is useful in that sense. The second reason why I think the cervical collars are helpful is that not only do they keep you in a slightly extended position like this, but they also encourage your mouth to close, a bit like mouth tape and a bit like chin straps. And if you've seen my videos before, I'm not a great believer. Well, I don't really like mouth tape at all, and there's lots of reasons for that. I worry about it. Um, Completely blocking your breathing through your mouth, and you get a nose blockage, and then you run out of oxygen. And if you've got sleep apnea, you need the breathing ability, and you need that backup of a mouth just in case if you start going blue. Um, Also, if you vomit or if the power switch is off on your CPAP, all those sorts of things I worry about with mouth tape. It's not so bad if you've got a little tape here and you can still breathe around the edge. At least that's safe. But the problem is with your lips held together like that, what you're not doing really is keeping your chin from falling back like this because your chin can fall back, but your lips are still together. So it doesn't really help that, which is why I prefer in my other videos a chin strap. I tend to say the Knightsbridge dual strap chin strap, which is, I mean, it looks ridiculous. You look like some rugby player or some American footballer, I guess, where there's got this big sort of hat on and these two straps that go around like this. That is useful, but it is quite hot, with this big hat on at night, and it does interfere with CPAP as well with the straps like that. So I can understand why people are like, "Well, actually, I prefer a bit of mouth tape. It looks a little bit more non-invasive than mouth tape." But this, I think, is an alternative, particularly for people who are on CPAP, purely because, yes, this sits around your neck like that, and therefore, when you put CPAP on, it doesn't interfere with the straps, whereas the chin strap really does. It stops you from, well, it encourages you to close your mouth, um, but there are problems with these collars, and I tried two of them. There's this one here, which is it's like a bit of foam with a bit of Velcro at the end. It's about £10. I don't know what that is in dollars, but you can get it on Amazon, and I'll put some links in the video description below. I've got a slightly more exciting one here, which is probably double that, £20 or so. And there's a little ergonomic sort of curve here, or whatever, and little breathing ports here, which I'm not sure how much of a benefit that is. And it's a bit bigger. I got medium in both of these, and I actually bought a spare one of these. So if anyone wants one of these for free, just join up to my newsletter, and I'll write an email about it soon. And if you're interested in one of these, send me an email through the newsletter, and I'll pick it out of a hat or something like that, and send you a free one wherever you are in the world. Anyway, these things are useful, but there are problems, I think, with them. I think one of the problems is that oh god, let me take this off, is that you do feel slightly overextended at night, and it may be because when I tried it myself, when I woke up in the morning, I felt like there was a bit of a crick in my neck, and I'm like, "Oh, that sort of hurts," and I'm just so glad to be rid of this thing. It did keep my mouth closed. I had a little video on my face that night, and I'm not showing you that video, but my mouth was closed, and I slept like this because it pushes your chin up. The main problem, I think, is that it's quite hard to get this part here to push on the bone of your mandible or your jaw to push up, because it tends to sit just behind there and push on the soft tissue of your neck, the anterior part of your neck. Now, that may not seem like a big problem, particularly if it's not making you have that sort of choking, gagging sensation with it pushing your neck like this, like you've been strangled. But I ever worry that it's actually pushing back the tongue, because it pushes up the tongue and it rolls back a little bit in your throat. So it does cause, I think, a little bit of obstruction unless you push it right on the bone of your chin, right at the front here. It's quite hard to get that in the right position. It tends to end up pushing on the soft tissues of your neck. So that's not great. It is a little bit hot with this thing around your neck. It feels like a polar neck at night. Yeah, but some people might find the chin strap not very nice. Some people might be, as I am, concerned about mouth tape and how it doesn't really help get the tongue out of the way, just helps close your lips at night. So this may be a really good idea with a cervical collar. You can close your mouth, not interfere with the CPAP. And I know this because in my next video, which I'll be doing in a second, I wore CPAP as well at the same time, which I'll tell you about my experience later. And it's quite easy to wear both at the same time. Um, so as I said, there are pros and cons to all of these devices. Nothing's perfect, obviously, but you might find this a useful, cheap alternative to some of the other things I've talked about on my channel. And like I said, if you want this slightly more expensive version, I bought a spare one, so I'll send one out to one of my newsletter subscribers, and I'll put a video, I'll put a newsletter out, and you can write back to me if you want one. Um, I'll go on to the next video now. Take care. Bye bye.